Hey guys, Mr. Murko here bringing you another Pokemon X and Y NU Wi-Fi battle. This one's against Ambisol from the Pimp Night Twitch chat, and I did this yesterday, and this is with my brand new team that I just finished making, well, yesterday. And take a look at my team. I've got Rotom Frost, which is fast special, Scarf Sweeper, pretty standard, has Trick and that sort of thing. Got my special Wall Chime Echo, can do some good stuff. Got my physical tank Luxray, which I really like. This thing is amazing, and I'm proud to key it as my own invention. And got my Marowak, which is bulky physical sweeper. It's super hard. Got my Heatmore, which special attacker, and I got some cool stuff on there that I don't think is as usual. And lastly, I got my Basculin, which is a fast banded set with adaptability, so Aqua Tail and Aqua Jet are going to be hitting really hard with him. On my opponent's team, he's got a Chatot, which is just going to be that Focus Sashed and a Boom Burst Nasty Plot set. Got the Sock, which is probably going to be Scarfed. Torchic, which is something you really don't see often. It's getting a little more publicity after Pimp Night posted that one video on it. And got Togetic, which is going to be an Eviolite Special Wall. Caracosta, which is a really dangerous Shell Smash Sweeper, and he's got a Lopunny, which I know Lopunny's alright. You can do a couple different things with it. And by the looks of his team, he's got a special wall with that Togetic, but does not appear that he has a physical wall, unless he made that Caracosta wall, which I kind of doubt. Alright, so I've got 3 weaknesses. I'm weak to water in my Marowak and Heatmore. I'm weak to rock in my Heatmore and Rotom Frost. I'm also weak to ground with my Luxray and Heatmore again. So yeah, Heatmore takes the weakness cake here. Alright, and his weaknesses are rock, electric, fighting, and ground. And my biggest player in this game is going to be Rotom Frost, because that Scarf and his electric weakness is going to allow me to come in, Volt Switch out, and just hit really hard and go first. And his biggest threat's probably going to be that Caracosta, being that I've got about 3 pokes that are weak to his typing, and it's just a really dangerous Shell Smasher once you get the Shell Smash up, and I run weakness policy, which hits super hard. So yeah, very dangerous guy, and that's pretty much it. So let us get to the battle. Alright, so let's go on. Black Screen's here. Luke is issuing a challenge. Yeah. Ambisol and I have had quite a few battles, and he might beat me like once, I think. So he starts off with his Lopunny, and I start off with my Rotom Frost. And when I originally made this team with Vanillix, it didn't have a lead, and so Rotom Frost really helps us because Scarf lead. Anyways, he goes for the Fake Out, and I go for the T-Bolt, and I discovered that he is a Life Orb set, so he goes for the turn there, which does a lot of damage, and now I just go for the Thunderbolt and take out the Lopunny. So now he goes into his Torchic and goes for the Protect here to start building up his speed, which is, yeah, pretty good strategy. And I just go for the T-Bolt because I'm locked in there and I just want to do a lot of damage on this guy. And so I go for the Thunderbolt, and that's going to take him all the way down to his Focus Sash. And he goes for the Sword Dance here, which makes this thing really powerful and really fast with that reversal, which I know is going to come. Alright, so he just goes for another Protect here, so to make sure that he's going to outspeed me, and I just keep trying to get off the Thunderbolt and take this thing out. So now I think he's at +3 speed, and here he goes for the reversal, which is going to do a lot of damage to anything, and that's going to take me out right away. Alright, so down goes my Rotom, grab me a beard. And now I go into Piranado, which is my Basculin, and this thing's pretty strong. It's got the adaptability boosted priority Aqua Jet, which is really handy. So he just goes for the Protect here, scouting out what I'm going to do, and now he's going to swap out into his only bulky Pokemon, which is this Togetic, and I go for the Aqua Jet here, which with the adaptability boost is base 80 power. And that does a pretty sizable chunk, but still not enough to take him out. And he just goes for the Roost here, knowing that I'm probably going to switch out. Yeah, okay, so now he's back to full health, and I send my Chimecho, and I go for that Toxic here, which I really like this Chimecho. It's turned out to be a super good special wall, and he goes for the Ancient Power here, and that just does nothing to me, and he doesn't get the Ancient Power boost, which is really handy, because this thing gets really annoying once all of its stats are boosted. So now this thing's Toxic, and that's kind of the death of Eviolite pokes, which is constant damage. Now he goes into his Torchic, or his Death Fodder, as I go for the Psychic and take him out. And I originally had Psyshock on this before, but a Vileplume kind of completely walled me out because Psyshock couldn't do enough to take him out, so I swapped it Psychic for it. Alright, so down goes the Torchic, and out comes the Caracosta, which is, yeah, huge threat to my team. So I go into my Luxray, which is my favorite Pokemon on this team. I just love the concept of this guy. So I come in here, I get the Intimidate off, and now he goes for the Shell Smash, and that's gonna put him at +1 thanks to my Intimidate. So he's gonna get all those boosts, and here I go for the Baby Doll Eyes, and this move is genius on physical walls because it gives you a priority -1 attack on your opponent, which is just so helpful because I don't have any speed EVs invested on Luxray, and it's not that fast either. So he just goes for another Shell Smash here, but I can just keep on Baby Doll Eyesing it and stuff. So he goes into his Sock here, and I just go straight for the Discharge. And the reason I have a special attacking move on this over a physical attacking is because Discharge has that 30% chance to paralyze, and now I just go for the Baby Doll Eyes, and he goes for the Close Combat, and after the -1 attack, that's going to do less than half and give him the defense drop, so he's not going to want to stay in for another Discharge. So I get the Lefty's Recovery on here, and now he's going to swap that back out because he can't really do anything to me now, and goes into his Chatot, which is yet another shiny, and here we go for the Discharge, and that's going to easily knock him right down to his Sash because Chatot is super duper frail. And yeah, no one really looks at Luxray's special attack, but I think it's base 95, which is still really good. So here I don't want to take a Boom Burst to the face, so I go into my Chimecho, and as I predicted, the Boom Burst does come, and that's going to do a little less than half, which means I can hopefully take it out with a Psychic before it gets me. But he goes for the Chatter here to get that Confuse off, and that's not going to do a ton to me, but it will get me confused and allow for Boom Burst to kill me next turn. And yeah, I get hit by the Confusion, which sucks. I just went for the Psychic there to take it out, and now I'm in KO range for that Boom Burst, and that's what he's going to do, and that's going to kill my Chimecho, which has really done work for me so far. This thing is super good. It also carries Recover and Heal Bell on this thing. So I go into my Basculin, and he knows I have priority, and so I'm able to at least scare him out. So I go for the Aqua Jet here, just to be on the safe side, even though I can outspeed him. And I get the crit on the Aqua Jet, which is really nice. It does just under half. And here I just go for another Aqua Jet, trying to do a lot of damage on him, pressure him into using Roost and use up that PP and have him stay in as long as possible to rack up that toxic damage. Yeah, so my goal with this thing was just to keep the pressure on him to stay in, to eat up my attacks and get that toxic. So now I swap out into my Luxray, which now that my Chimecho's gone, this is my next best bet to take hits. So he goes for the Toxic here, which I think you straight ripped this off from Pimp Knight's set, which, I mean, whatever, it's not a big deal. So he goes for the Toxic here, and I don't have my Heal Bell Chime Echo anymore to clear that away, so Luxray's days are numbered now. But no matter what now, he's done a really good job so far. And he's fearing an electric move, and he swaps out here, and he goes into the Sock, and I just go for another Discharge here, because I just wanted to take out that Togetic, and that Discharge does a lot of damage to Sock, and one more hit's gonna easily take it out, so I'm taking a little poison damage, which still isn't racking up a ton. And here he goes for the Earthquake, and this will not take me out, because my Luxray is bold, max HP, and max defense, and here I just go for another Discharge and take him out. But sad thing is, the Toxic damage will be enough to kill my Luxray even after Lefty's recovery. So yeah, now, alright, so Deluxray goes down, and yeah, he did his job incredibly well. So yeah, I'm really happy with how my Luxray and Chime Echo core are working. And here I just go into my Basculin. I go for the ballsy play. I wasn't sure if he was going to outspeed me or not, and I just go for the Aqua Tail in case he wants to switch in to something that's better mold against me. And so he just goes into his Caracost, and I know he's just going to try and set up Shell Smash here. So I go for the Aqua Tail again, and I have Aqua Tail in this thing because it's got 10 more base power than Waterfall does, and with the adaptability boost that gives it an extra 20 more power than what the boost for Waterfall would be. So now it goes for the Shell Smash, and I'm fearing that he'll go for a move that takes me out, so I just send in my Marowak here, and Marowak didn't get to do anything in this game. He's just I'm just using him as death fodder, but this thing is really, really good. It's got Power Up Punch, Iron Head, Stone Edge, and Bone Meringue, and yeah, he's just going to go for another Aqua Jet and take me out, which is too bad. So I just go back into my Basculin, and he goes for the Aqua Jet because I go for the Aqua Jet, and that does quite a bit of damage to me, but they're not very effective. And here I go for the Aqua Jet, which with the -1 defense will take this thing out. So now it's my Basculin and my Heatmore against this Toxic Togetic. Alright, so here I just go for the... I know Aqua Jet's not going to do enough to kill it, so I just swap into my Heatmore, and he's going to go for the Ancient Power, which still isn't getting the boost, and that does less than half. And yeah, so it's pretty much sealed at this point I'm going to win, because that Toxic damage is going to be too much. Here I go for the Fire Blast, which barely missing him, which I know is not too bad, because now he goes for the Roost, and that gets him a little over half, but the Toxic puts him right back to where he was before. And I go for the Fire Blast, and again, and it misses, and he goes for the Ancient Power, but it's not a big deal. This guy is not going to take me out, doesn't get the boost, and that Toxic's going to still keep racking up. And here I just go for one last Fire Blast, it lands, and that's going to take out the Togetic, and that's going to be the game. So, good game, Ambisol. You brought some pretty good pokes that I've probably seen a lot of before, and yeah, I'm really happy how this team is turning out. It's got some stuff that you might have not seen before, like the Wall Luxray. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. And yeah, feel free to check out my other videos. So yeah, thanks for watching. Mark out.